going on YouTube? It's your boy Trinity Wolf, and welcome to the Crystal Beast deck profile that you guys seen from Yu-Gi-Oh! Day Season 2, Episode 12. So I had a lot of fun playing this deck, and it's gonna even get more support in the future, so I cannot wait for that. And yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please destroy that subscribe button. We are on the march for our 1K subscribers, and hit that thumbs up button for me and the notification bell so you know when I upload. So let's go ahead and get started with this deck profile. Now, the deck profile will probably change over time, just due to, like, you know, more tech cards, or just however the format's going, or even when the new stuff comes in. So, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, this is what I was playing. So let's start off with our monsters. So we're playing 2 copies of Rainbow Dragon. The reason why you want to play 2, I think playing 1 would be a mistake, because in order to resolve the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, you need to be able to actually search for your Rainbow Dragon. So if you don't have a copy in your deck to search for, then it kind of makes it just, you know, then it's just a useless card at that point. So definitely want to play at least more than 1 copy of Rainbow Dragon. So as you can see, we got the 2 Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. I was thinking about playing it at 3, but it doesn't really do anything in your hand besides the battle effect. But I think 2 copies of this is just fine. It gives you a huge amount of resources. I mean, you get the special one, and then get an ultimate crystal monster, and then it has its battle effect, and if it gets destroyed, you put it in the spell and trap zone to where you can use its effect again. So I think 2 copies of this is just fine, because I had games where I was just seeing too many big monsters in my hand. So I think 2 copies of that card is perfectly fine. Now onto the best card in the entire deck. Of course, we got Crystal Beast, Sapphire, Pegasus. Now, this card is not once per turn, so a lot of people were shocked by that, because, you know, it's an old Yu-Gi-Oh! Card. You want to be able to abuse Pegasus effect as much as possible. So definitely want to have 3 copies of Sapphire Pegasus. If you're playing less than 3, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you just want to lose at that point, because you have to play 3 of that. Now, of course, we're just playing all the 1-ofs of everything else, because the Sapphire Pegasus is pretty much the best one besides Ruby Carbuncle. Ruby Carbuncle is probably the second best one, but you don't want to see her as much either, because you want to be able to special summon her either from the deck or any kind of way of special summoning Ruby Carbuncle. So definitely just 1 copy of everything else. And I know it's not like my hero deck, guys. I've got my higher rarities coming in soon, so don't worry about that. The deck will be pretty soon. We're playing 1 Crystal Master. Since there's really no way to search for just a crystal card, I think 1 copy of this is fine, because there's really no way to search for it. If you see it, you see it. I don't want to brick with this card, because if you have 2 copies of it in your hand, what's it gonna do? Like, so not being able to have your stuff targeted is cool, but I think only 1 copy is necessary, and I'm sure there'll be a way to search for it eventually. So I think 1 copy of that is fine. And then on our hand traps, just 2 Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just always a staple. And then, of course, the deck can play Dimension Shifter. So if you're playing a deck that can abuse Dimension Shifter, you definitely want to put your hands on this card. It shuts down a lot of decks. A lot of decks can't get over Dimension Shifter. I guess the only one that would suck is if you're going second and you're going against Flunder and you don't know it. You're kind of just helping them out, but you gotta take that chance, because not everybody's playing that deck, but everybody's playing Tier Elements and Splites and Albaz. This card just shuts those decks down. And that was it for our main deck. I think I may have switched it, because I felt like I was main decking Nibiru, but I felt like it, but I wasn't quite sure, so I just ended up just making it Shifter and Ash Blossom. But if you can find a way to put Nibiru in your main deck, I would do it, because I think I did it, but I just couldn't remember how I built the deck, so I was like, I think I'll just side deck it. So, of course, under the spells, we're doing 3 copies of Crystal Bond. This card is insane. Add 1, place 1. This card is like absolutely free. Definitely want to play 3 copies of that. And then the new Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. This card resolves your... This card is insane as well. All those effects, the bounce effect, destroy a card, and search a crystal spell or trap. This card is absolutely insane. You definitely have to max out on Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. And of course, our Rainbow Bridge, of course. I want to play 3 copies of this. It's like Emergency Call, not once per turn. So if they ash it, that's their loss because you can just activate that second one in your hand. So this is definitely not a card to negate. Like, it's not once per turn, so don't negate this card. And if they do, then oh well, just activate that second one. I'm only playing 2 Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. Now I lost my duel against Runix because I didn't have a 3rd copy because he managed to banish both. They were next to each other and he managed to banish them both, and I lost due to time. But I definitely would have got him if I was able to search for this card, but since both were banished, it basically it cost me the game. But I think 2 copies is fine, to be honest. 1 Crystal Beacon, because you want to special summon Ruby Carbuncle from the deck so you can bring back all your Crystal Beasts from the Spell and Trap Zone. And it's searchable with Rainbow Bridge, so definitely, I think 1 Crystal Beacon is fine. 2 Pot of Prosperity. I get that this card is not affordable to everybody. So your other option is Extravagance, like because the common one is pretty cheap. But you kind of want to use the extra deck, but you can build a build where you don't really use it as much. So I didn't like Extravagance, so I went with the Prosperities. But if you're on a budget, Extrav works just fine. 2 Dark Rule No More in case we're going second, so you can just shut their field down, and then because this deck is kind of control, so you just shut their board down, and then you just kind of take over the game at that point when you hit them with the Dark Ruler. And for tech choices, 1 Necro Valley. And the reasoning behind Necro Valley is this also shuts down a lot of decks. And my real reason behind it was mostly to protect your one of Crystal Beasts from things like DD Crow or Call by the Grave. And yeah, that's mostly why I use it. And if you start off with Necro Valley, they can't ash anything else. Well, no, they could. Well, it was something else I was thinking of. But yeah, like they couldn't, like they can't call by, they can't ash, they can't banish your stuff. So Necro Valley for the tech choice. And then just other one-ofs, 1 Feather Duster, 1 Called By. Feather Duster just because Mystic Mind doesn't really hurt this deck that much at all, especially if you have the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. So yeah, it's like you don't have to worry about Mystic Mind, but other spells and traps could be an issue. So Feather Duster just in case. And the Call By, because we're a combo deck, you want to be able to pop off. You don't want things like Droll or something hurt, because Droll does hurt. Droll is probably the most effective hand trap against this deck. And now on to our traps. First, we're just going to show the double imperm, just for now. If we're going first, we have it because we are playing Dark Rule No More. Impermanence is kind of like the going first setup for negating cards. 1 Crystal Concave and 2 Crystal Miracles. Now the Crystal Miracle works really, really well with the Bridge of the Heart, just because you get to negate a card, and you put 1 in your spell and trap zone, and then you can bounce a card back with the bridge, and it's absolutely crazy. And the Crystal Concave is also another card that goes very well with it, because if the Crystal Beast is destroyed, you get the special summon 1, and then at any time, because it's it's a continuous trap, you can send the Concave from the graveyard, and then you can bounce another card back to the hand. So a lot of cards have a lot of destruction effects nowadays, but the fact that you can bounce back cards and with this deck, it's absolutely insane. Because my match against Sword Soul was insane, because I can't remember the name of it, but it would have got like a destruction effect, but because I bounced it back up to the hand, it was just, the game was just over after that. So absolutely insane. So that was it for the main deck. I can't honestly remember the deck count, but I guarantee it was probably under 45. But now on to our extra deck. So since we're playing Product Prosperity, we're running a lot of extras. So 3 Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragons. You really only need 1, but since we're playing Product Prosperity, it's just free to get rid of the 4 and keep the 2, because we have the Rainbow Over Dragon as well. So yeah, with Product Prosperity, you get rid of 4 free ones, and then you can get rid of the other extra monsters from your extra deck that you feel like you may not need. And some people thought it would be very hard to make the Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon, but it is not difficult at all to make this card. It is very, very easy, and its attack power is huge, like 11,000. So if they have any monsters on the field that have 3,000 or less attack, and they're at 8,000 health, if they're at 8,000 life points, the game's over, because this thing swings for 11,000. And its quick effect is also ridiculous. So like if somehow their turn is going on, quick effect, just shuffle everything back and get any number of banished crystal beasts back. So that card is absolutely insane. For XCs, the deck's gonna change a little bit. I just don't have certain cards, so I kind of just work with what I had. Like I want to put Zeus in the deck, but I don't have the Zodiac engine, so I'm just working with what I had. So we got the Tornado Dragon, the Dugaris. The Tornado Dragon didn't really pop up that much, but that would be, you know, one of the cards for the Zoo engine. Dugaris, on the other hand, popped up quite a bit. The fact that you can reborn Pegasus with it and get its effect. I even boosted a monster with its card effect, like I boosted my Appaloosa. So Appaloosa had like 6,400 attack, like it was ridiculous. So Dugaris, definitely, you just have to remember the side effects of this card. And then the other 2 main boss monsters, Baguska for stall, and then Abyss Dweller. I didn't get to make Abyss Dweller as much as I wanted to. It was mostly Baguska, definitely. Because if I had, you know, the Necro Valley, or just any kind of graveyard disruption, Abyss Dweller would, you know, take its place if I didn't have those cards. But Baguska definitely just controlled so many games. It was ridiculous. And now on to our links. We got 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Tri-Brigade Bridget, Cherubini. So Cross Sheep, just to either get another extender, because most of the time you're going to make an XCs or a fusion monster. But yeah, it's just to get either your monsters off the field or just get another, just try to extend. Cherubini, on the other hand, it can protect the monsters it points to, which is really, really cool. And the fact that you just get to dump a level 3 Crystal Beast to the grave. And then the Tri-Brigade, just to basically just draw a card. Because most of the Crystal Beasts are beasts, so it's not that hard to make. But she's kind of just there just for you to draw an extra card. Because, you know, I would link climb with her to make our Appaloosa. But like I said, I'm missing certain things. But I did get to make Appaloosa quite a bit. I never got the chance to make the Underworld Goddess because like for some reason no one was just putting anything in the extra monster zone. So she's definitely going to be a good card, but I might change her for something else. But other than that, guys, if you guys did want to see the side deck, I don't really show the side deck just because it just depends on how you know how your locals are. So I don't really show the side deck. But yeah, you guys, this deck was absolutely amazing. I don't know if I'll play it again in the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. I do want to play Heroes since we're at full power. But yeah, you guys, this was the Crystal Beast deck profile from Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, episode 12, season 2. And if you guys haven't seen that, please check it out on the channel. If you're new, please destroy that subscribe button. And yeah, this is going to be it. So this is Trinity Wolf signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video.